Hi, I'm Krista Tracy, and today I'm going to show you a couple of fun techniques when you sew with polyurethane laminate fabric, commonly known as pull. We've made a cute little backpack, and we are going to go over how to do a tabbed zipper on this small wet bag that we have inside here. So I'm going to show how we do this zipper technique. We are also going to go over making a covered zipper, as well as how to set snaps for closure and grommets for your drawstring. One of the things when you're sewing on polyurethane fabric is that it's a good idea to use a walking foot for even feeding of the fabric. It can be a little slippery, so this helps sew the pieces together and keep everything from shifting around. You're going to want to pin it, and we're going to set our needle into the center with the stitch length set on 3. You want to sew a slow or a medium speed. You don't want to go too fast with your walking foot, and you always want to lock your stitches at the beginning and the end. Remove your pins as you're sewing, and then just go around the curve. Okay. If you see when you're sewing with the walking foot, it's very easy. My fabric is not shifting around at all. It's not sticking to the foot, and we're able to sew nicely and not have to worry about any puckering on our seam. When we get to the end, we'll lock our stitches, and we take it off the machine. When you're sewing on curves, it's also a good idea. We'll use our pinking shears and we'll trim around the curves. This will help our flap lay nice and flat when we flip it around. So we trim these curves here. And then you would take it and turn it right side out so that we can go ahead and top stitch it. When you're making this backpack, all of your body construction is going to be done using the walking foot, but we are going to top stitch and set our zippers in using an adjustable blind hem stitch foot. It's my favorite foot to use when I'm sewing. So after we get this all turned around, this isn't really a fabric that you can press with an iron because it can melt the laminate on the back side. So you just have to kind of roll the seam around a little bit and manipulate it to where you want it to be. And if you need to pin it before top stitching, you absolutely can. That'll really help. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side, and now we're going to go ahead and change the walking foot out to the adjustable blind stitch foot. Once you get your foot on the machine, you're going to sew all of your strap pieces. These are the straps for the back buckles. You'll also do the handle strap. And the way we're going to do this is you're going to put the needle into the center position. When you have it in the center position, this gives us 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and this is how we're going to top stitch all of our straps. And then you would just have your stitches locked at the beginning and the end, and then just go along each edge, making sure you don't sew over any pins. And I have one completed over here. We have both sides top stitched, and then you just repeat that with the rest of the straps. One of the next things that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to work on our tabbed zipper. You're going to start with a zipper that is 9 inches long. You'll take the zipper and you will measure 7 1/4 inches and make a mark on each end. You'll stitch 1/4 of an inch in from each of your marks, and then you're going to trim the ends of the zipper. As you can see here, I have my stitching, my zipper is trimmed, and now we're going to center our tabs on the zipper so that we can sew them down. For this, we're going to move the needle over into the left-hand position, and then you sew your tab down 1/4 of an inch from the end of the zipper. We'll repeat this on both sides. And then we'll trim the zipper tab and sew the other parts in. When you have the tabs all sewn down, you will fold the tab out and you'll want to trim even with the edge of the zipper. And you'll do this on both sides. You can top stitch. Okay. All right, once we have the zipper tabs trimmed, you want to attach your bag parts to the zipper. When you're working with a lined bag and a polyurethane laminate fabric, the lining will be shiny side is your right side. So when you do this, we want our right side facing up, so putting our zipper on top of the shiny side. And then we're going to take our top fabric, which is our print, and we are going to lay that right side down on top of the zipper. You always want to have your zipper open so that when you've sewn everything together, when you're making the bag, you can turn your bag right side out. So I like to keep it open a little bit from the beginning so that I do not forget that. And you're just going to pin the pieces together to hold everything nice and still while you sew. We are going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance along the edge of this zipper top. And so we need to make sure that our needle is in the left hand position. Set your stitch length to 3 and sew it together. So here we go. When you use the adjustable blind hem stitch foot and you have it set at a 1/4 inch, the edge of the foot rides right along the side of the zipper, and it makes it easier to sew the pieces together. You'll want to sew a little slow because the laminate fabric is a little shifty on the presser foot. So just take your time, adjust it as necessary, and then just sew across the top. When you get to where the zipper head is, you can always grab a hold of it, we'll lift the foot, we'll turn it, and pull the zipper away from the presser foot so that we can move it. Okay, once you have that done, you'll take both of your pieces of fabric and you will fold them down. Let me cut her. You'll smooth them out with your fingers, and you can pin a little bit, but you'll go ahead and top stitch by turning your needle to the center position and stitching along the edge. Once you've done this, you'll do the same on the other side to finish constructing the front part of your bag. Now I've got a few other things that I want to show you over here. And here I want to show you the bag with the tabbed zipper all completed. When you have it all done, you'll see we have top stitched around it, and we have a really cute little detail at the front and back of our zipper on our little wet bag. The other thing that I want to show you is when you've completed top stitching the flap for the bag, you are going to want to set a snap in there so that you can do the closure. The way we're going to do this is you will take your hand pliers, you'll need an awl, and you're going to need a snap set. On the flap, we've marked at the center 1 inch up from the edge. You'll take your awl and you'll just poke through both layers of fabric, just like that. You're going to take your cap, slide it through. You want the cap to go through on the side of the flap that will be facing up, and you put it through the little hole that you poked. You'll take the bottom part of the snap, set it on there, and then the whole thing's just going to sit right into the pliers, and you'll press it down securely and create your closure. And your snap is set. You'll do the same thing on the bag, and you'll do that on the outer layer only, and you'll use 2 pieces of scrap fabric to reinforce the back. I want to show you real quick the other zipper that we've done on the back. You sew the top and bottom piece to the zipper the same exact way that we did for the tabbed zipper. The only difference is we've created this cute little cover that you'll lay down on top of the zipper before you lay the top piece down, and then you'll sew everything together just like you did the first one. To do your drawstring closure, you are going to set grommets into your bag. You've marked the bag when you cut everything out, and we're going to use grommet pliers. You'll take that and you'll punch a hole on your mark. Okay, taking the the deep side of the grommet, you're going to go on the right side of the fabric and you're going to push that all the way through, stretching the fabric around the grommet. Once you've done that, you'll take the other part of the grommet with the shallow end and you're going to set that on the wrong side, and then you would squeeze them together into the grommet pliers. I have 2 done just like this. When you're all finished, you'll thread your ribbon drawstring through by just gathering up your grommets and pulling them all the way through. And then you've completed your project.